In early November, I received an email from Dave Scott of Evil Genius Games asking to collab on working on a video for Everyday Heroes. Because I am a diligent and professional person, I responded and received a copy of the game and the Vault expansion for free. I have been keeping an eye on Evil Genius Games for a while now, mostly because David T. Scott, the CEO, is an interesting creature, and I'm nothing but someone interested in oddities. Since August 2023, he's been the CEO of Evil Genius Games, but Evil Genius Games has been around since 2021, with Everyday Heroes being released in 22, with licensed properties such as Highlander, Escape from New York, and even Pacific Rim. This led to the Everyday Heroes Kickstarter raising nearly 400,000 USD. But what makes this odd? Well, David Scott was in 2021 and all the way up to August 23, a Amazon Web Services guy, working as the Chief of Staff to the Chief of Marketing Officer, then the Global Director of Marketing Strategy and Operations. Looking deeper into David's history, I started noticing a little bit of a pattern. The VP of Business Marketing at Twitter in 2019 launched 2 startups and was fundamental in creating at least 2 more, and the list goes on. Mr. Scott is a genuine entrepreneur, because that Kickstarter I mentioned isn't real. I call them insurance Kickstarters, because the goal is to reach an arbitrary goal, then seek outside funding, which Everyday Heroes did through Blockchain Capital, Slide Door Ventures, Sarah Fund, Civic Capital, and the Hustle Fund. According to the EN World article, they had at one point over $1 million in assets, though that would quickly dwindle due to various trade shows and promotions. Then the Rebel Moon IP flopped horribly, and they entered a lawsuit against Netflix, and then everything went sideways from there. People got laid off, accusations of harassment, and most everyone else resigned, bar some of the core staff. It was a shit show. A genuine shit show, mostly because Mr. Scott is very enthusiastic about AI and blockchain tech. But I digress, it was 2023 and everyone was excited about that. At that point, I thought the company had died, another casualty of the endless struggle. But like a revenant, he appeared in my mailbox asking me to cover Everyday Heroes in a similar vein to other influencers. So let's go over Everyday Heroes a little bit, shall we? At its most basic, it's D&D 5th edition. Well, D&D 5e D20 Modern. If you've ever rolled a D20 and tried to hit a standardized target number, then congratulations. This is the closest you'll ever get to a 5e talking shop that isn't a drug-fueled hallucination. So instead of boring you with what advantages, we'll start with some oddities. Obviously, race, background, class dynamic from the Dragon game has changed. We instead have background, profession, archetypes, and classes. Backgrounds and professions serve as a way to highlight the nature of the character, though this is where weird shit starts. So say if I want to be an ordinary drug cook or a juvenile delinquent criminal, that's perfectly valid, alongside our party members of a former Roman legionary, gang soldier, and mutant lawyer. Some of the backgrounds and professions are far wackier than others, especially paired with the Vault. A GM will need to restrict and deny players from getting too fun, though working with them to get the bonuses they want from a background may be essential due to its nature. The Ivory Tower is alive and well in this game. But let's move on to archetypes and classes. Instead of having fighters, rogues, and wizards, you instead have an archetype, such as being a strong, smart, or tough hero, which gives you a baseline HP, AC, and some abilities, but also a class under it. Let's take our criminal. He is an agile hero with a scoundrel class. He writes in everything, and congrats, he has a vaguely modified kobold ability in different places. If you're a grizzled veteran of the 5e slot mines, then a lot of this game is going to feel really familiar. With only 10 levels, they're trying to cram in as much 5e as they can into a very limited space, mostly reliant on milestone development. And I do give it credit, some archetype classes are interesting enough for mixing and matching, even if multi-classing is just a bunch of feats. Giving flashbacks to PF2, unfortunately. Now, there are issues, namely that the game runs out of ideas for classes pretty quickly, so get ready for multiple variants of a guy who punches people across all of the archetypes. But Notepad, I hear you scream from the heavens, what about magic? There isn't an Urban Arcana book out yet, but the gimmick classes like Smart, Wise, and Charming heroes have a pool of points to work with. Let's use our very own Walter Blanco, the ordinary drug cook scientist. Blanco has his int modifier in spell plans, allowing him to play 4D chess with the power of bullshit. You trigger plans with a genius point, which are limited, but stop thinking about it that way. Blanco uses a can of whoop-ass plan to buff up his ally, or he just says fuck it and throws a bomb at the problem. Each of the gimmicks gimmick classes have something. Charming heroes are mostly just battle masters with d6s to throw out the problem they have, while wise heroes use focus to activate all of their gimmicks. Alright, we have our party set up. What now? You play 5e. Yeah, there isn't really much else to say. Your AC or defense in this case is lower than average, but cover plays a much larger part in the flow of combat. Everyone's AC is roughly the same due to how armor is kind of a meme, with penetration and armor saves making it very lame. Let's see. Feats are divided into flavorful minor feats and Monty Cook tier major feats derived from value. Short and long rests are still in this game, though I would recommend the faster short rests because this is a fucking action movie, not a dungeon crawler. Companions are still awful because of the action economy. Yeah, I got nothing really much to work with here. Enemies are built using a wonky CR system and leads to some pretty amusing situations where the CR1 gangster is a pretty major threat with their 27 HP and my AK-47 only dealing 2d6 ballistic damage. But don't worry, the crazy maniac with 32 HP served as a good baseline for most things, because 3 to 4 crazy nut jobs could probably take on a small police battalion and then get bodied by Dog the Bounty Hunter with his 84 HP and a one-shot tap rifle. The usual oddities do start cropping up as well, though, because as we all know, being a CEO does make you partially bullet resistant, right? But generally speaking, Everyday Heroes shares the exact same opinion I have on 5e. It's fine if you want to go into caves and kill goblins for pocket change, even if those caves are car parks, goblins are gangsters, and pocket change is $5 in Snickers. If you want the game to be anything more than going into a cave to kill goblins for pocket change, then it's going to feel weird. If you're a 5e fanatic, there may be some stuff to glean and extract, and if you're in the mood for Better Fuel Huel meets the Highlander and Alf, then yeah, fuck it. My name is Notepad, and this was Everyday Heroes. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and many thanks to the plutocrats as always. Godspeed, good luck, and have a great 2025.